Hey everybody, it's Shelby with a Chick Plus 3. Welcome back. I am so excited to share with you all today my Easter Spring home tour. My husband has always referred to our style as curiosity shop. I am not insulted by that because we are both big time collectors. We come from a bloodline of collectors, so it suits us just fine. So I'd love to welcome you into my home and show you what I'm talking about. So I hope you join me. What do you say? Let's go. We are greeted at the front door by Mr. Bunny. He was fashioned by my late mother-in-law in the early 1970s. On today's tour, I'll also be sharing more of my home than I have in previous tours, trying to give you a broader sense of the layout of our home. So I hope you enjoy. So you enter right into our sunroom. And there is Miss Nessa. She makes sure that she sees each person that enters in and out of the house daily. These little rubber donkey and lamb dolls belong to my husband as an infant. They still have his name in marker written on the back. And that there is the DIY Dollar Tree wreath that I made. And I love this yellow shelf. I got that at a trash pick. And I painted that little gnome. And I love melt glass, so I have that scattered throughout my home. There's my Dollar Tree DIY breadboard. Now we're going to enter my main living space. I wanted to just give you some overall shots to start with so that you can kind of get a feel for the layout of our home. It was built in 1920, so you can see it's quite tight, but it does have nice high ceilings, and it's the perfect size for us. Bryn and Nessa in one of their favorite spots on the couch. And you'll have to excuse the blankets, but those are a must in my household, so my couch is always covered. There's one of the murals that my late mother painted. It features landmarks around the Massachusetts-Boston area where we are from. And here's my first tiered tray that I'll share with you today. The ceramic eggs on this tiered tray were again made by my late mother-in-law in the early 1970s. I am so glad that they have held up all these years. Mr. Bryn always watching what is going on. And little Meka Moo too. Oh, and Nessa. Now we're going to take a closer look at our mantle. Above the mantle there is also another mural that my late mother painted. That's my grandfather's mantle clock. That mural depicts the family homestead where I grew up, an old New England farmhouse. These hand-painted blue vases were a set that my husband rescued in a thrift find. There's a closer look at one of the sets. I kept my mantle quite simple this year. That bunny is a Martha Stewart one, as is that. And then these little chicks were something that my late mother gave my boys many, many years ago. Now we're going to go into the corner and look at some more of our thrifted, collected finds. I love my hens on nests. And the two little pairs of cowboy boots that you may have noticed on either side of my mantle belonged to my youngest son decades ago. There's another needlepoint piece that my husband rescued, we like to think, from a local thrift store. I also have some of my Luray dish collection on this set of shelves and a few more pieces of milk glass scattered throughout. And here is Mr. Bunny. Again, my late mother-in-law painted him in 1970. I think she did a fabulous job, and I so appreciate that she did not make his eyes solid pink. This cruel piece on the wall was done in 1946, cruel and watercolor. The colors are just so beautiful. I can't imagine the amount of work and time the artist put into that piece. I just have some faux flowers and carrots in a basket that my late mother made. Set on more of my collectibles. And that is a little metal Victorian frame. My husband collects miniatures. And this is just our television stand. It has a Michael's charger in it there with the bunny. And those two little bunnies are a Dollar Tree DIY that I did, a year or two ago. Here's a better shot of them there. Little boy and girl kissing bunnies. And I have my quilt collection in a basket here, and it is sitting on top of my late father's Victrola. Going up the hallway here, we have some more art, and a recent find of my husband's is this beautiful bird picture in the carved wood frame made in Mexico with a real tail feather. And now we're in the dining room, so just so that you can see the layout, there's a shot looking back out into the main living area. And another peek of Mr. Bryn. This is in my dining room. Here's a shot of my hutch, a hutch that I redid years and years ago with some homemade chalk paint. And it features my Lou-Ray dishes pretty much year-round, but especially in the spring. They are very fitting with their beautiful pastel colors. My little thrifted lovebird salt and pepper shakers peeking out from the top. My vintage lamb planter. I love his or her little eyelashes. That's just a Hobby Lobby lamb. I love it. I think they look so vintage. And here's a better look at the salt and pepper lovebirds. Those were made in Japan. And now we will just span around the dining room to give you a better feel of the layout. There's my Dollar Tree bunny you may spy in the corner there. And actually a Dollar Tree felt garland on my little boxwood faux wreath. So there's the shot of the other side of the dining room. We'll take a closer look in just a bit. Here's one of the hutches in the dining room. This, as most of my furniture, was a hand-me-down from my parents. And the inside paint is quite chipped, as you can see, but my mother had done it, and so I have never wanted to paint over it. And I like things imperfect, you know? That little bunny with carrot is another Dollar Tree DIY that I did. I kept this cabinet rather colorful and whimsical because I do have young grandchildren that spend a lot of time here, so I thought they would have fun with that. Here's a tin that I recently thrifted. Now we're moving to my second tiered tray. This also is in the dining room, and I kept this one very whimsical, and it features some pom-pom bunnies that I made when my boys were little. So I believe I made those bunnies from Michael's Supplies over 25 years ago. And then I have some new finds from the Dollar Tree this year mixed in with them. And now here's one of my other hutches. This, in all honesty, I use it for a lot of like storage type of items too. but I try to make it look semi-neat. It has some of my wedding china in there. That crayon and paper bunny was done by my youngest son when he was in pre-K, so again it's decades old, as is that other little sharp-toothed paper bunny done by my eldest son, 24 years ago. So I pull them out every Easter. And here's a wide shot just to show you the dining room. I no longer keep the table in the center of the room. I would rather use the space as it best fits us, so I push it back against the wall, where again it's typically just my husband and I. If we have parties or guests, I like to do buffet style anyways. There are my little Dollar Tree chick plastic eggs in there on display in some Dollar Tree jars. And there's one of the farmhouse calendar pages, also from the Dollar Tree. And some of my teacup collection hangs above it. And on my curio cabinet, I have a vintage baby blanket that I thrifted a few years ago. It's not necessarily Easter but I pull it out every year for spring because of the adorable little kittens on it and the coloring. It just screams spring to me. Some years I use it as a tablecloth on my coffee table. And we'll just get one more look at Mr. Bunny there as we swing around into the kitchen. Here's a little display I put together by my sink. After all, I am a Mimi, one of my most favorite jobs. And you'll recognize the Dollar Tree truck, I'm sure. That was new for me this year in store, as was my little chick soap dispenser. And behind my coffee station, that is another little Dollar Tree DIY project that I made, a year or two ago. And my thrifted aluminum tray that I absolutely love. And a bunny-on nest. He came, I believe, from Michael's this year. And he's just plastic, but still sweet. And my final tiered tray that I will share, this is in my kitchen. And I just kept the theme whimsical and colorful. So I want to thank you all for joining me today and coming into my home. I always have such fun spending time with you all, so I appreciate each and every one of you taking time out of your busy day to spend a little bit of it with me. And until next time, everybody, please be well.